Hi, my name is Melody, and I'm the author of the book Daring to Ask for More, Divine Keys to Answered Prayer. If I told you that there was a divine key to success in life and ministry, would you go after it? What if I told you that this key was more valuable than all the resources under the control of rulers, governors, and kings? Would you be interested? What if I told you that this key would open up a whole new world of endless possibilities in your life? Would you listen? Well, this key is actually already in your hands, and it's called prayer. The problem, though, is while we talk a lot about it, most of us haven't yet experienced its true power. To illustrate, let me tell you a brief story. Alexander the Great was a mighty conqueror that lived before the time of Christ, but he was also known as being a compassionate ruler. And one day out of every year, he would randomly pick different people in his kingdom that could come to his palace, and they could ask for whatever they wanted, and often he would grant their request. Well, one year all these different people had come before his throne, and they were giving him their request. Some of them were asking for medicine, some of them were asking for food, some of them were asking for money to send their children to school. But one year, one man had a different request. He began to speak to the spokesman, and he told the spokesman, "Tell the king I want a palace." Well, immediately the spokesman stopped him, and he said, "You can't ask for a palace. What are you thinking? Look at what all these people are asking for. You can't ask for a palace." Well, the man persisted. He said, "No, I want a palace, and I want a large banquet hall because I have lots of friends, and I want it to be fully furnished and have lots of food." Well, the spokesman was getting more and more angry. He says, "Who do you think you are to be asking for this palace?" Well, the king began to see that there was a commotion happening, and so he asked the spokesman, "What does the man want?" The spokesman came sheepishly to the king, and he whispered in his ear, "The man wants a palace. I told him he can't ask for a palace, but he persisted." Well, the king thought for a moment, and then he sat up straight and he smiled and he says, "Request granted." Well, the spokesman was outraged. "How can you grant such a request when all these people have all these needs?" The king smiled again and he says, "You know, all these different people, the things that they're asking for, they don't need a king to provide these things for them. But this man, this is the first man that has made me feel like the king that I am, because only I can grant this request." I want us to think about how we treat the King of the universe, the one who stretched out the heavens by his great power, the one who knows all the stars by name. Yes, he cares about the details in our lives. He cares about what's on our heart. He knows the hairs that are on our head, but he wants to do so much more in our lives. Jeremiah 33 verse 3 says, "Call upon me, and I will answer thee and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not." The book Ministry of Healing tells us prayer and faith will do what no power on earth can accomplish. Daring to Ask for More was written not only to inspire you to go deeper in prayer, but also to give you many practical tools to grow your relationship with God. If you are just barely surviving spiritually, it's meant to help you thrive as you learn to build a strong foundation upon the Word of God. So whether you are a seasoned Christian or just a beginner in the faith, I believe this book will launch you on one of the most incredible journeys that you've ever taken in your walk with God. It's a journey that has personally changed my life. So read this book, get on your knees, dare to ask for more, and see what God will do.